Ankit. Yeah, Ankit is starting.
Okay. So am I audible, Sagar?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know when my screen is visible. Okay.
So Dikshit, before we start the session, so you can just quickly like maybe introduce the host and the team leaders, and then we can quickly start the session.
Yeah, sure. My screen is visible, right? Okay.
Yep.
So
Yes.
yeah, good morning, everyone. This is Dikshit here. Basically, this session is all about DocuSign integration with Salesforce, and I'm a Salesforce developer currently working in Bluvium Technologies Private Limited, and I would like to thank Sagar, Aniket, Sonali, Meghna, Amit. This is basically a combined event, right? So thank you for having me here as a speaker, and you know it's a pleasure to share knowledge with all of you. So yeah, that's it as part of the introduction. And current, like, one thing I want to tell you all is, like, I haven't prepared any presentation or like that. Today we, like, this session is all about demo, how you are taking, like, integrating DocuSign with the Salesforce. And DocuSign is basically DocuSign for app launcher. Okay. And inside that there is one application that is known as e-signature. Okay. So today I will be presenting that, not the DocuSign Gen or DocuSign negotiation. Okay. So Sagar or Aniket, can I start?
No, I guess like we can introduce each and every leader, and they can just introduce themselves, and then we can quickly start. So maybe like
Sure.
you can just step back.
Okay.
So might be can we start with Priyanka? Are you there on the call?
Hey, hello everyone. Good morning. This is Priyanka Chaudhary. I'm leading Salesforce user group Dule, and I'm working with UST as a senior Salesforce developer.
Priyanka,
So,
sorry, just 1 minute. Sorry for that. So Dikshit, can you just close the screen for now? It is visible over the screen. Yep. Sorry, Priyanka. Yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, so I'm working with UST as a senior Salesforce developer, and hope you like the today's session. Yeah, over to you, Sagar.
Thanks, Priyanka. So myself, Sagar Arora, I am group leader of Trailblazer Community Group Khandwa. I am working with DXC as an application architect, and I believe like hope you will get that like session, whatever we are explaining it to you. Okay, so we can go ahead with Sonali. Are you there on the call?
Yes, so hello everyone. Myself Sonali Durjat and I lead the Salesforce admin group Nasik, and currently I'm working with CloudRex as a Salesforce release manager.
Perfect. So we have Manasvi on the call.
No, she is not there, so we can proceed with other group leader.
Okay, so Meghna, are you there on the call?
Hey Sagar. Hello everyone. This is Meghna Gupta. I'm leading Nasik Women and Tech Group for Nasik, and I work as a Salesforce architect with UST. I hope you will enjoy today's session. Thank you.
Thanks, Meghna. Aniket.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, so hello everyone, and thanks for joining the sessions on Sunday, like it's weekend. So let me introduce myself. So I am Aniket Kole. So currently I am a group leader of Amravati Salesforce Developer Group. So as well as active in the Nagpur community also. Currently I'm working as a senior consultant at Perficient. So yeah, so this is little about me. Yeah, thanks, Sagar.
Thanks, Aniket. Amit, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Amit Bere. I'm leading Amravati Salesforce Developer Group, and I'm currently working as a senior consultant in Perficient. I want to thank all the trailblazers who take as Sunday as a learning opportunity, and thanks for joining. Yeah.
Thanks, Amit. Thanks, Amit. So maybe Dikshit, you can introduce yourself and then we can start with the session.
Okay. Yeah, hi everyone. This is Dikshit here, and currently I'm working as a Salesforce developer in Bluvium Technologies Private Limited in Pune. And yeah, like I love to help others as far as hobbies are concerned, and so I can share my screen and quickly start with the DocuSign session. Let me know, Aniket, if screen is visible.
Yeah, for it's visible fee. So can you confirm everyone? So it's visible to everyone.
Yes,
Yeah,
Dikshit.
it's visual.
Yes.
Yeah, it's visual.
Okay, so firstly, I'll tell you, currently what I have done is I have already installed the DocuSign in my org just to save a bit of time. Okay, let me quickly show you like how you are gonna, installing this DocuSign. Okay, so first thing what you have to do is in order to install the DocuSign, you have to go to the App Exchange. Okay, now here once you reach to App Exchange, what you have to do is you have to search for e-signature. Now, if you see, this is the application which I have already installed. Okay. Now, the one thing which I wanted to highlight here is you just have to click on get it now, and it will ask for you your login credentials, and you will get two options basically. First is install here, like that means you want to install in this org, or you want to install in production. You have to just provide the credential of this org, and it will automatically gets installed for you. One thing to note here is you have to mention, you have to check always make sure that you have to install this DocuSign for all users. You will be getting three options, like you have to install for admins, you have to install for some specific profiles, or you have to install for all users. Okay, so always make sure you must be checking that you have to install for all users. Okay, once you installed this DocuSign, okay, you can see this DocuSign in this installed packages. This is the package name, DocuSign App Launcher. Okay, now if I go to the DocuSign menu, okay, this is the DocuSign setup. So what you have to do is you have to click here on App Launcher icon. You have to search for DocuSign App Launcher. Okay, if you click on that, you will be redirected to this page. Now, if you see, it is asking me for the login into DocuSign. Okay, basically what we are doing is we are, integrating DocuSign with the Salesforce. So obviously we must have a DocuSign account as well. I have already created that DocuSign account. Let me log in that as well. Okay, you just have to create a DocuSign account. Now this is my DocuSign account, and what we will do is we will connect this Salesforce with the DocuSign. And in order to manage DocuSign inside Salesforce, there is application known as DocuSign App Launcher. Okay, so let me click on this, login into DocuSign. It will ask the login credentials. Let me login credentials. First, it will ask for the org's credential. Okay. Now see. So whatever account is present with the DocuSign, okay, it will ask, you have to select the account. Okay, this is the account, mine account. Okay, I will click on next. Once you click on next, you have to authorize. Okay, you have to authorize the DocuSign with the Salesforce. Okay, once you click on allow access, DocuSign asking to like these are the permissions you have to give, and you have to click on allow. Okay. Now it will again ask for the org credential. Okay. Successfully connected and authorized to DocuSign. Okay. It will take time, a bit of time. Okay. It will show you this. Okay. So yeah. Now you can see this is the DocuSign setup inside the Salesforce. Okay. We have 3 applications: e-signature, DocuSign Gen, DocuSign Negotiate. Okay. So, does not matter which application you install from the App Exchange. If you are installing DocuSign Gen or DocuSign Negotiator, then automatically what DocuSign will do is DocuSign will come up with these 3 applications. There is one more application which is known as DocuSign CLM. Okay, so for trialogues, DocuSign CLM is not present. Okay, you cannot try DocuSign CLM features with the trialogue. But for these 2 you can try, but that's again for the 30 days only. Okay, now if you see my this DocuSign trial, this is basically already for 30 days. Okay, like trial account is present for 30 days, and after 30 days it will automatically get expired. You have to create the new one. Okay, and you have to again come back here and you have to connect your Salesforce with that new one. Okay. Now, so first thing which I want to tell you is, like, I will be demonstrating is, sending the documents via DocuSign. First approach what we are going to see, that is standard send with DocuSign button. Okay. In order to do that, you have to click on this configure. Okay. But before proceeding further, just let me share one thing as well with you. What you have to do is you have to go to the setup. Okay. Once you link your DocuSign account, you have to search for grab ops usage. You will see DocuSign here. Okay, click on install. Install. Okay, now you have to click on edit policies. Now there is one IP relaxation. This is the field. Okay, for that you have to select relax IP restrictions. Okay, why I am doing this is basically, when any user is sending document with the DocuSign, like any IP can be followed, like whether he is in India or anywhere, right? So in order to remove the IP restrictions, just select this relax IP restrictions and click on save. Okay, after connecting the DocuSign, your Salesforce account with the DocuSign. Okay, now if I come back to this part, you can see there is one thing. This is user management. Okay, just go there. Now, automatically, once you install this DocuSign, you can see I have given the privilege of administrator. Okay. If I click on edit permissions, now you can see. So if you want to give permission related to DocuSign Gen, you have to give the generator. Okay. Otherwise, users won't be able to generate this document. Okay. Same as for negotiation as well. Okay. Now, if I talk about e-signature, there are 2 things: administrator or a user. You want to give the permission select administrator, otherwise you can go for the user option as well. Okay, now these kind of permissions can be managed by permission sets as well. Okay, on a user record we have different set of permission sets as well. Okay. Now if I go to e-signature, now you can see there are 3 things: template, button, and settings. Okay, first I'll go back to the settings. Okay. Now First setting says if another e-signature solution. Now, let's suppose you have this e-signature, DocuSign for app launcher e-signature in your org, and you have previous versions of DocuSign as well. Okay, that is basically used for signing the document. Okay, so now if another e-signature solution such as DocuSign e-signature for Salesforce is to be used, the e-signature functionality in this package may be disabled. Okay, now in this org only this DocuSign package is present, so no need to worry about that. And another setting is basically if some users don't have any account of DocuSign, then when they are sending the document, you can simply select the administration email ID here. Now what will happen is the users who don't have any DocuSign account, once they will send the document from the Salesforce, they will be, sending with respect to this administrator. The sender in this case will be the configured DocuSign administrator. Okay, so these are the like basic settings. Okay, now another thing is this button. Now first thing is this button. This button is basically a standard button provided by Salesforce. Now you can select any Salesforce object from here. Okay, any Salesforce object of your choice. Okay, now what I'll do is let's suppose I'll select a quote. Okay, now I'm taking a CPQ object. You can select any non-CPQ object as well. Okay. What you have to do is you have to select both the layouts as per your requirement. Like I have to select both layouts. You can select any one as well based upon your requirement, and you just have to click on update layouts. Okay. Once you click on update layouts, okay, automatically this button, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. Okay. What I was explaining is, yeah. What I was saying is, you have to click on update layouts. You can see this button is getting disabled now. Once you see the quote layouts, okay, now you will see a button named as send with DocuSign. If I go to any quote, okay, I'll click on this. Now you can see this is the button, send with DocuSign. Okay, this is the standard button which DocuSign provides to you. Okay, now if I go to related list, now one thing which I wanted to highlight here is once you click on this button, okay, it will ask you to add the document which you want to send. Okay, now let me show you that as well. Just give me a second. Okay, it will take a time initially. Once you click for the first time, then it won't take that much time to load the DocuSign screen for you. Now I can see. Now this is the screen. Okay, so there are three things: documents, recipients, and prepare and send. You can select any document from the Salesforce as well. Okay, now if you want to upload any document from your computer, personal computer, you can add from there as well. Okay, now, so what if I want this document to be come up automatically? Okay, in order to do that, I'll go back to my quote again. Okay, now one thing to note here is, okay, it will pick the document from the files in there. Okay, so for that, what I'll do is I'll go to this code document. This is the PDF like which I have already generated. Okay, from the CPQ code generation. Let me copy this ID. Okay, I'll quickly go to this. Now, if I click on view file, let me download this. Okay. Now, if I go here on this code record, now, sorry, let me go to this code. If you click on upload files, okay, this is basically manual process, okay. So now if you select this document, okay, it will get uploaded here. Now if you click on send with DocuSign button, this document, DocuSign will pick up this document because it is now present in files related list. Okay. Send with DocuSign. Now you can see this is the document that you have uploaded in files related list. You can unselect that as well, and you can add additional documents as well. Okay. Now let it be selected. Now I click on next. This is the recipients. Now you can add the recipients here, right? By clicking on add recipient, I'll show you how to add. And before going to do that, let me explain you these things as well. Reminders. Once you have sent the document to the signature, if you want this, DocuSign to send the reminders to the signage, like if they haven't signed, the document, so you can set the frequency as well. Maximum frequency is every 7 days. Okay. If you want to send every day, you can select this option as well. Okay. Now, expiration. Now, automatically DocuSign envelope, which you will is automatically get expired after 120 days. But if you want to configure any number or something like based upon your requirement, you can set here as well. Okay. I'll keep these default setting as it is. And what I'll do is I'll click on add recipients. Now, add recipients means you want to add the recipients. Okay. You want to send the document to these recipients. Okay. If you want to select any user inside this Salesforce, you can simply search here and it will come as like this. Okay. Now let me select this as DocuSign user, or let me select another user, which is this one. Okay. Now another option is by name and email. Okay. You can simply give a name, right, and an email address, hard-coded email address here. Okay. You can, configure that as well. You can specify any role here as well. Okay. Now, signing group. Signing group is basically like you all know public groups we have in Salesforce. It's not about public group. It's like similar public group, but this signing group is the feature of DocuSign. This is not the feature of Salesforce. For the trial accounts, we don't have the privilege to use signing group. Okay. In order to use the signing group, we must have a paid account of DocuSign. Okay. Now, for the time being, like for this demo, what I will be doing is I will be fetching a user from the Salesforce. This is my user. Okay, need to sign action. What action you want to, make with this recipient? Okay, there are a couple of things. Receives a copy, act as a similar to CC in the email. Okay, needs to view. Needs to view means the person is simply just have to open the document. That's it. Okay, there is nothing like, there is no need of signature and anything. Okay. Now allow to edit is means person is, basically can edit the document, but generally we don't use these options. It totally depends upon the requirement. Okay, majorly you got the requirement as someone should receive a copy of the document, and there must be someone who needs to sign the document. Okay, basically mostly these two options are in the usage. Okay, for the timing I'll just simply use needs to sign. Okay, if you want to add any role, you can add. Okay, any kind of a role you want to add. And if you want to give the access authentication as well, there are a couple of methods, but for trial org, it is the access code only. Okay, there can be a, SMS or email kind of thing as well. Okay, I can use SMS feature as well on phone, but that comes with the paid account, not the, a trial account. So why this is used? Basically, you want that document to be secure. Okay, like the person which I have specified as a recipient is the only person who should able to access. Okay, so you can give the access code as well. And if you want to give the private message as well, okay, let's suppose you want to convey, there is one document, there are n number of recipients, but you want to convey some message to some specific recipient, you can add that message here as well. Okay, it will go inside the email automatically. Okay, now what I'll do is initiate signing. Okay, let me select this. I want initiate signing after sending. I believe this is something which has been latestly updated. I'm not sure about this, what this setting actually does. Initiate signing after sending. Okay, sign now. Okay, basically it makes me feel like it automatically, or it initiates the signing process immediately as soon as I'll send. Okay, I'll like read about this thing and maybe tell you in the future sessions. Okay, and one more thing, we will have future sessions as well related to DocuSign Gen or any other features we will be gonna left in this session as well. Okay, so for the time being, I will click on select. You can see this is the recipient. Okay, I haven't specified any role to this recipient, but you can see automatically DocuSign is giving a role as signer 1. Okay, this role plays important role in placing the tags. Tags means to say that signature tags. Okay, in the upcoming approach, I'll show you how to dynamically do all these things. Okay, another thing is there is signing order. Okay, signing order means to say is, let's suppose you have multiple recipients. Okay, let me add another recipient as well. If that is DocuSign. This one is the user. I'll select this. Okay, now if I have defined the signing order, first it will document will go to this user. Once this user will sign, then document will go to this user. Okay, now it again totally depends upon the requirement, how you want to maintain the signing order, or you doesn't want to maintain the signing order. Okay, if I click on this, you can see signing order is not here. In this point of time, all the recipients will receive the documents. Okay, let me click on the signing order. Okay, now I'll click on next. It will open the signature screen for you basically. Okay, where you can place the tags. Tags means to say anchor tags. Okay, anchor tags, you can say in CPQ we generally use this term as anchor tags, and in this DocuSign specifically it is known as auto place tags. Okay, so for the timing, what I'll do is, you can see there are two recipients. Okay, for first recipient, what I'll do is I'll select this sign as here. Okay, now, and for the another user, I don't have another this signature section, but in upcoming approach I will have two signature, and where I'll explain you multiple signage things as well. Okay, now for that thing, okay, let me pick this up as well. Okay, what I'll do is I'll go back. Okay, otherwise it will be very wrong for you. Let me do the whole process again quickly. For this approach, what I'll do is I will add only single user. Okay, in the multi-signage approach, I will show you the signing order thing. Select this. So now you can see, like, this is the approach, is standard approach, send with DocuSign button. Okay, like everything you have to do manually. You have to upload the document. Like uploading document dynamically in Salesforce, like by using Trigger or Lightning Flow or anything. Okay, I'll simply select this. Now what I'll do is I'll click on send. Okay. Now if I go back to my email, basically, this is the email. Okay. Now you can see this is the document. Okay, I have received the document. Now, I haven't signed yet. Okay. One thing I want to show you is that how you will track your documents. Okay. Let me remove this as well. Now, if you see, there is one object of DocuSign that is known as DocuSign status. Okay. As soon as you send an envelope, a record is created for you. Okay. This is the object. Now, if you see the status as sent, now, this object is very helpful if you want some things to be happened when the user signed the document. Okay. You want, as soon as user signed the document, some record or some field on your code record should get updated. Let's suppose I'll take the example of status. Okay. For that, this object is very useful. You have to write the automation on this object. Okay. Why I'm showing you this object is basically, let me duplicate this as well. I'll quickly show you another thing. There is a one field which is known as Salesforce source ID. Okay. This Salesforce source ID is automatically populated by DocuSign. That is the code record ID on which we have sent the document. Okay. Now, if you want to update anything on this code, you can use this ID and you can place the automation on this object. This is the DocuSign status object, and you can do the needful things like what you want to achieve. Okay. Let me go to this code. Okay. Now, if you see, there must be a one field of this code. This is the status. Okay. Now, if you see, this is status is draft. Okay. If you want this to be get as presented or anything based upon the DocuSign action taken by user. Okay. Once you send the document for the signature, you want this status to be as presented. What you can do is you can write the automation on this DocuSign status object and you can update anything on this code record. Okay. Now, if you see the status of this DocuSign status is sent, means documents has been sent to the user. Now, what I'll do is I'll go to here. Okay. I'll review the document. Just notice these fields: completed is blank, status is sent. Okay. Now, what I'll do is continue and I'll click on finish. You have finished the signing. It will take, I believe, 1 minute or 2-3 minutes basically. Okay. It will automatically write, update the status of this envelope. Okay. I have to wait for maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Now you can see status is completed and completed date is populated. Okay. Now, in this way, you can track the status of your envelope. There is another way as well. That is something very beautiful, and I'll explain in a couple of minutes that as well. Okay. Now, this is the simple approach of sending the document, signing, and maintaining the envelope. Okay. Now, I'll go back to DocuSign setup. Okay. If anybody has any questions till now, like yourself and can ask. Anyone has any question?
So when you are doing setup, you only selected code. Can we select more than one object?
Not more than one object. Okay. You can select any object, but not more than one object. Okay. Means to say you can select multiple objects. You have to select every time. Means you have to configure for every single object. Okay. It's not like that at a time you are selecting the multiple objects. Okay. Now, if I go to this button, you can see you can select any other object. Like if I click on account, it will present the account layouts to you. You can click check your layout.
Yeah, so I get that. So this is for one. So now per se, I have a sales contract as well as service contract and need two different signature.
Okay.
Can I select two different objects here?
Yeah, that's what I am saying. Is you can do the same. Okay, then their configuration is different. Okay, that is basically a standard, or maybe I'm not getting it.
So you do it here twice.
Yeah, because every object I have to configure, right? Like first, for initially I have did for code. Now there is some other object I have to come here and do this configuration for that.
Okay,
Any number of objects, but you have to.
got it.
Not like that. You have to. There is one shortcut, like you will select multiple objects and at the same time all will get.
Yep, got that.
Okay. And anybody else?
And just 2 minutes on what is this purpose of the signing group?
Yeah, signing group is basically like we have a public group in Salesforce. Okay, where what we can do is we can add some users. Okay, like signing group, it's
Your voice is cutting, Dikshit.
okay. Is it audible now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was explaining is DocuSign signing group is related with DocuSign account. Okay, that is something not related with Salesforce. We have to create signing group in DocuSign account. This account, what I means to say. Now this is something basically a trial. You won't be able to see signing group feature here.
Okay.
Okay, but the purpose of using signing group is basically, as you know, in real time we have n number of users, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we can do is we can combine those users in a single group. Okay, and we can configure, like, at a time, if I want that document to be sent to a particular group, inside we have 5 or 6 users at a time, that document will send to all the users. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
And anybody else has any question on this part? I'll move forward with another approach. Okay. Okay. So next approach is templates. Okay. In real time, you won't be following this approach, what I have explained. It's just like, to a kind of an overview so that you can aware of this DocuSign, how actually this DocuSign works. But in real time, what we'll be doing is we will be creating the templates. And templates means to say we will be like what I have done. I have manually uploaded the document, manually added the recipients. All things will be in a dynamic phase. Okay. If you want to see the video how these templates are creating, you can simply click on this. It will open a video for you, and in just 4 minutes you can get a brief idea how to create templates and all. Okay. So in order to create a template, Sagar, can you mute yourself? Hello,
Sorry,
Sagar.
sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, you have to click on create templates first. Okay. Now, what I'll give is quote template. Just the name of the template. Now select the data source. Again, the same data source you have. You can select any object. Now again, see here, can we select for multiple objects? Yes, we can, but not at the same time. We have to configure it manually because each template belongs to, different object, and different object may have configuration. Okay, so like sales agreement can have different persons to sign service agreement. Okay, so for that you can select any data source based upon your choice. Okay, for that I'll select quote. this code. Okay. If you want to select any non-CPQ as well, you can follow the same approach. Okay. But one thing is you can't change this later. Okay. Once you have selected any data source, you cannot change this later. You have to either delete this template or you have to create a new template. Okay. I'll click on next. Now it will open the same user experience for you, which you have just saw in case of send with DocuSign button. Okay. But there are some different things as well and some different settings as well. Now this thing is usually done by administrator, not any user. Okay. Now you can see add documents, upload document. Let me do one thing for you. Okay. Upload document. I click on upload document. I can quickly add. This is the template. Okay. Now what I can do is, we have seen in the first approach, like I have manually uploaded this document. You can do the same thing here as well. Okay. But for this, I won't be doing this. What I can do is I will remove this document. Okay. Now there is the setting attach documents from the Salesforce record. You have to check this. Okay. Basically, this is going to create a template for you. And in this template, you have configured that document should come up from the Salesforce record. And which record? The data source you have selected initially, on which you have created the template. Okay. Now there are three options basically. Let me. Sandhya, can you mute yourself?
Yes, sure. Sorry.
Now, if you see, there are three settings. Latest document. Okay. Obviously, most of the time, latest document will be selected because every time you will be, on your record, you want that latest document should be set for the signature, which user just has recently generated. Okay. If you want all documents, you can select all documents as well. If you want some specific document, file name contains this. Always make sure all these file. Okay. For this thing, I will be selecting only. Okay. If you want to upload any document from the computer,
yeah, Dixit, sorry for disturb. Your voice is breaking somewhat.
Okay. I'm not sure, like maybe some network issue is there.
Yes, might be.
Might be. So I'll, speak slowly so that if you, like, if you can't.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, just hold, pause me there. Okay. Actually, maybe some issue with my Gmeet. Even I have faced these problems with Gmeet. I don't know why it's happening. Okay. Okay. So moving on, what I was saying is I will select here as latest document. Okay. If you want to upload any document from your computer, you can select this button as well. Okay. It will open the upload screen for you. Okay. Now, moving on to the recipients. I'll click on add recipient. There are n number of options we have. Signing group, I have already explained you. This is the same thing. By role, you can specify any role and you can add name and email address of your choice. Okay. Even you can use the merge fields as well, similar to like this. Okay. Code dot, let's suppose I have a name field. Okay. You can select in this way as well. You can select the email address as well from any field as well. Okay. Sender. Again, this is basically it is sender, means basically, okay. If you want that should receive the document, you can select this option as well. User contacts is the same thing. You want to select any contact or any user from the Salesforce record, you can search here. There is lookup fields option. Lookup fields means to say we have owner field on code. You want your document to be sent to the owner of the record. You can configure in this way as well. Okay. And related list as well. I haven't used this related list feature. Okay. Majorly I have used lookup fields or user because like never get any requirement, something like that, we have to use the related list, but it will, if you have any related list under your court record, okay, which is responsible for the, like, in which you have the recipients, you can select that related list directly here as well. I need to explore these things, I haven't really explored, but for the time being, what you can remember is you can remember this user contact or lookup fields kind of thing. Okay, again, action is same thing. Okay, and access authentication, private message, that again are same thing. Okay, but one thing which I want to highlight here is, okay, I'll show you, like, once I will be sending the document, I'll show you that thing as well. Okay, let me again put the recipients. Okay, now just remember this setting, user Dikshit Khurana. Okay, this is the role. Okay, this role is very important. Okay, although this role which I have currently configured is wrong. Okay, I'll tell you in 2 minutes why this is wrong. Okay, I'll click on add, needs to sign. I'll quickly add the recipient again. Let me check which I want to have. I will be adding another recipients. That recipient will be to sign user. Now I have added two basically recipients. Okay. Now okay. For the timing, I'll remove this. Okay, I'll come back to multiple thing as well. Okay. Now, if you see, there is message to all recipients. Okay, when you send this document for the signature, there is an email. You already seen that. This is the email which I received. Okay. Another thing, like, once I have completed the signature like, you will definitely get an email, like, your DocuSign document has been signed successfully. Now, the thing which I wanted to highlight here is this is the email format. Okay, if you want to change the email kind of thing in the template, you can use this setting as well. Email message, a generic message you can configure here as well. Okay, now this is the template which I am going to create for the one recipient, not for the two recipients. I will be creating the other template for two recipients. Okay, because I want all those things to be done dynamically. Okay. Next is merge fields. Merge fields is basically, currently in this org, I am going to use the CPQ. CPQ has its own, document generation thing. So I won't be using this merge fields feature here. But if you are using account object or a contract object and you want to, you have some merge fields. Merge fields means to say there is custom fields of your Salesforce object record and you want that field data to be dynamically come up on your document. Okay, in order to do that, you can add here field, and okay, you can specify the field API name here. I want this, field data to be present. Okay, and if you want to, like, configure settings of these options, you can use any option, like required field if you want this field to be, right, required field if this field is you must have this field.
Can't hear you, Dikshit.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay, just give me. So you can use this merge field feature as well if you want to apply any validation on your field type, which is email or a number or a date or something like that, or any regular expression. You can choose that as well. Anchor text is basically the auto placing tags. That anchor text must be present in your document. With the help of this anchor text, DocuSign will merge this field data on your document. Okay. I have not used this feature yet because mostly DocuSign is used with CPQ. So I'll show you, like in CPQ, this is taken care by automatically by CPQ. But if you want to use this on account or a contract object, you can use this feature as well. Okay. Okay, I'll skip this part and I'll go to options. Options are basically same thing. Reminders that I already explained to expiration. This is the new thing, sending experience. Okay. The experience, user experience, you have that is okay. If you select the quick send experience, then you won't be able to add or remove the documents. Okay. If you want to add, you won't be able to add if you have selected. It is written here. It is not recommended to use quick sending with dynamic documents because sender cannot add or remove the. Okay. So again, that varies your requirement. Okay. Now update field value. Remember, I have explained you DocuSign status to you, right? You need to write any automation on DocuSign status, and you have to in order to update the records on the Salesforce record. Okay, that code record. But if you are using template feature, okay, this is the template feature. You can maximum update 5 fields. Okay, I believe there must be written 5 here. Yeah, this is the okay. Once signature, if you want to update some fields, maximum limit is 5. Okay, you can configure here. Okay. These will be all quote record fields, and if you want to give any value or something like that, you can specify here as well. Alternative solution is you can use DocuSign object as well. You can write automation on DocuSign status. Now, document write back. Document write back means to say you want signed documents to be stored back to the quote record. Simply check this record. Okay. Now, you can use any options from here. What should be the document name of that document which you have signed? Okay. Now, in order to check those signed documents, that will be attached to the notes and attachment related list, okay, of the quote record. Okay. I'll select this, and what I'll do is I'll simply say this. Okay. I'll go to next. Now you can see every template is associated with a button. Like we have a DocuSign button, standard button, and every template is having itself a button, but you can change the label of button. Okay. What I will do is I will give name as sign. I will select these page outs and click on save and finish. Now this is the error. I don't know why actually these errors are coming up, because it generally happens with me when I used to configure this DocuSign thing for the first time. Okay. I need to go to these layouts and remove all these things. Okay. Custom buttons. I'll quickly go back to the code. You know, I haven't worked on, I would have definitely asked the DocuSign support, like why this error coming up, right? Because in trial logs we cannot reach. Okay, but we can, you know, put up the questions on the community. Like we had, like anybody can answer, but I have tried that as well, but I haven't get answer for this specific errors. Okay, I just have to go to the edit layouts. Let me remove that button as well. Okay, send with DocuSign button from the layout. Okay, I'll save this. Okay. Now if I simply select training layout, now you can see successfully modified layouts. Okay, it means like it appears to be, you know, both the buttons, right? Send with DocuSign standard button and this template button cannot be used together on a single object. That's why it gives me that error. Okay. Now, if I go to this record, you can see a button is there, one signee template. Now this button is associated with the template. And in that template, what we have done is we have configured only single recipient. Okay. Now, I will create the same email template. Okay. Sorry, email DocuSign template for the two signs. Now, one thing to highlight here is every time you have to create a template, if you have a number of signees or you want everything to be dynamic, okay, I'll simply use the previous settings. Okay. Now in this template, I will be adding the two recipients. Is to sign, add recipient, and another is this DocuSign user needs to sign. Okay. Here I will be finding the signing order. First it will go to this user, then it will sign, then this document will go to this user. The rest thing I will keep as it is. Okay. Now, everything is same. Yes. Training code layout. New link found. Okay, let me go there. This out. See, it's like seems to be very unweird. Like, you know, I remove these custom actions. I don't know why. Like, is there any relationship between those custom buttons which already there and okay, that is something needs to be checked. Okay. Why I want to let me check why that second button is not visible. Let me go to layout system. Okay. Okay, yes. So yeah, button is there. Like we have two signee template and one signee template. Okay. Now, and as I already told you, like every time does not matter which button you will use, whether it's a standard or a template button, every time document will be picking up from the file select. Okay, you can see we have certificate and everything, right? Like why this is happening, because we have signed the document in first approach and DocuSign has, you know, write back all these signed document to the port record as well automatically. If you see the notes and attachment, you can see in the notes and attachment as well. Okay. What I'll do is I'll use other code. Sorry. Now you can see we have two buttons. Okay. So that is basically like, now I'm going to tell you something about CPQ kind of thing. Okay. First thing is, in CPQ, we have a feature as generate document. Okay. Now, let me switch. This is the samplet template which I have already created. Okay, this is the CPQ template, and in this we have two sections basically. Okay, first is signature, one sign is signature, two sign. Okay, if I open these two sections for you, okay, and these two template contents for you, okay, you can clearly see there is two signature sections I have, and another is I have one signature section. Okay, now I want all these things to be dynamic. Okay, how it should be dynamic is, I have already created a field on a quote that is one sign. Okay, now when you are going to, like, you can, like, just, it is for the demo purpose, you can treat it this in any other way as well. Totally depends upon your project. For the simplicity, I have created. Okay, now I am assuming one, this field should be checked, only this template button will be visible to you. Okay, when this field will be checked, this template button will be visible to you, because in this we have configured only one recipient, and in this we have configured two recipients. Okay, now before doing that, what I'll do is I'll quickly copy the API name of these fields. Okay, I have to do something related to CPQ. Sign. I'll copy this out, and there is one feature of DocuSign basically. This is the conditional print field. Okay, now what this does is it will take the API name of the quote fields. If you just hover this, it will say field on a quote object that controls whether this section should be present on the part. Okay, and always remember this field takes the box field, like a field which has a Boolean return type. It can be a formula field as well. Okay, now what I'll do is I just simply put the API name of both of the fields here. Okay, because I want at a time one or two recipients should be there based upon my field setting. Okay. This out. There must be two signs. I'll click on save. Now, what I'll do is I'll go back to these sections basically. Okay. Now, this is the one signee. I'll select here as one signee. I'll select here as two signees. Okay. Now, if that one signee field is checked, then this section will be visible. It means one signature will be visible to you. And if that is checked, then two signing blocks will be visible to you on the code document. Okay. So that thing we need to do from the CPQ side. Okay. Now, another thing. Okay. Another thing is, at a time, one button should be visible on the screen based upon the checkbox is checked. Okay. Now, what I can do is I can use the privilege of dynamic buttons in the Lightning. Dynamic actions or dynamic buttons, you can say, and I'll upgrade it now. Okay, migrate. I will select my layout. I'll click on finish. Okay, now it will give me a flexibility to add filters on these buttons. Okay, now I will go here and I will select a filter. Filter is what? My field. Okay, what is my field? Basically two signees equals true. Okay. I click on done. Now, one filter is added, click on done. Another button was one sign. Okay. I'll add here that field. One sign equals true. Click on done. You can see both the filters have been configured. I can quickly click on save and activate this for you. Okay. Click close for you. Okay, let me go back. Now you can see both the buttons are not visible on screen because both the checkboxes are unchecked. Okay, I'll simply check this. Okay, and click on save. You can see one signy template button is visible now. Okay, right? There is no two signy template. Okay, now if you see, I have configured everything now. What there is one more setting, okay, that I'll explain you. Once you click on generate document, okay, now let me click on generate document. This is basically more of CPQ side. You have to generate document before you. I'll click on preview first. Okay, let me show you the preview. It will only contain one signing block. Yeah, you can see now. There is no two sections. We have only one is there. Okay, I'll click on save. Now you can see document is generated and it is present inside the Salesforce. Okay. Now if I go back to this code record, there is nothing in the file. Okay. In order to do that, we have to do one setting. Okay, that is something we have to enable first feed tracking for the code object. Okay. I'll quickly select here quote object. It's the quote. I'll enable field tracking, click on save. Okay, now you have to go to install packages. Click on configure. Okay. There is one document thing. Yeah. You have to check this setting, post to feed, and attachment target must be quote. Click on save. Okay. This much setting you have to do in order to make sure your document should be generated in files automatically. I will quickly go back to my code. I'll refresh this out. Now you won't be seeing the document directly. I have to generate it again. Okay. I'll go here and click on generate document. Click on save. If you go back to now code and go to related list, just you have to click on refresh. Now you can see. Okay. There is. Okay. Based on I'll go here and click on one signy template. You can see automatic document is coming up. That is something dynamic. Okay, everything is coming up with the dynamic records, right? If you go next, recipients. I have already configured these recipients in my template that is coming up as it is, right? Now click on prepare and send. Now, if you see here, you can see signature, right? Now, as I already shown you, like you have to manually put these tags and everything, but in this case, we won't be doing that. Okay. So for that, first thing what I have to do is I have to show you an image. Okay. This is the image. Okay. Now, if you can see this image, basically this says the tags. If you have to place automatic tags on your documents, you have to use this way. \S2 \S1. S is basically for signature. N is basically for name. T is basically for title. D is related to date. Let's suppose you have 10 recipients. You can S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. Okay. Now, in this way, we have to place the they are called as, and in DocuSign they used to known as auto place. Okay. Now, if I close this out, I haven't configured tags yet. Okay, that's the reason that is not coming automatically. I want to show you one thing as another thing as well. Okay. Yes. That was the image which I have shown you. That is okay. And this is something related to CPQ. CPQ docs. Earlier we were using managed package. Okay. For that, we used to specify the tags in this format. You can see this is the / and on that image, okay. So you just have to make right. Okay. I'll remove this out. I'll quickly go to my templates basically. Okay. This is the template and these are the tags. Okay. Contents I have. Okay. And I source now. If you see signature, right? What I'll do is I'll simply write it here as \S1, okay, this one. Okay. Now I'll quickly click on save. And going back here, what I'll do is I'll go back to my signature thing. I will write here as S1, S2. I'll click on save. Now I have configured the tags for the both the sections, but still you won't be able to see on the document. Okay. There is a huge role of the role. Okay. Importance of the role which we have already configured on the template thing. Okay. Let me show you that as well. DocuSign setup. Now I will be modifying both the templates. Okay. I'll show you what I'm going to do is first I'll pick up one code, this one sign. Now if you go to recipients, you can see my role is user Dikshit Khurana, right? I'll click on edit. I have to specify the role as signer 1. Okay. Otherwise you won't be able to put automatically that tags on the signature flow. You just have to click on add. Let's suppose you have n number of users. You have to use signer 1, signer 2, signer 3, something like that. And click on now, in similar way, I'll go back to my second template. This one. Go back to recipients. simply click on edit. Okay. What I'll be doing is signer 1 at signer 2. I'll click on save. Okay. Now I will be going to court record again. This court record again generating the document because we just have placed the tags. Okay. Click on generate document. And DocuSign is smart enough, it will pick up the latest document as we have already configured in the templates. Okay. I'll click on save. I'll move back to my court record. This is the related list. You can see I have 2 files now. Okay. Now I click on one signee template. This is the document. Going back to recipients, you can see my role is updated, signer 1. Now I move to prepare and send. Now you can see this sign is coming automatically, right? If you change the role of the signer 1 to something else, this won't be coming. Okay. So now in this way, you can place your all the tags automatically, right? I'll click on send. Now, another thing to highlight here is, let me quickly static pages. I'll go back to my email and check whether, this document has come up or not. Let me tell you one beautiful feature of this. Okay. I will be using, there is one lightning component basically. Okay. This is DocuSign envelope status. Okay. I just simply put it here. Okay. And I'll quickly save this. Okay. Now go back to my record. Now you can see the status of your envelope right on the record itself as well. There is one object I have already told you, DocuSign status, but this is the component which is used for the tracking the stage of your envelope. How many recipients have signed, what have done, like whether document has been sent or not, document has been delivered or not, document has been signed or not. Okay.
Your voice is breaking, Dikshit.
Yeah. Sorry. Now it is audible. Hello.
Yeah, I can't hear you properly, Dikshit.
Dikshit, your voice is audible clearly for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess there's some lag. Your voice is coming from so far in between the session.
I don't know why. Like I'm like in very much like front of the mic itself. Is it better or like let me change my position as well? Just give me a minute. Is it better or is it the same? Hello? Sonali, anybody like, am I audible or
Yes,
not?
yes.
No?
Yes, you audible, you can proceed.
Okay.
Yes, Dikshit.
Okay. So what I was explaining is, where I was. Yeah, I was explaining this component. Okay. So, okay, you can see all these details here, right? Now, I want to be signing this document. Okay, what I have received on my email basically. This is the document. Okay. Now I have just received this document, right? Okay. So I won't be signing this document. Okay. What I want to explain here is you can, let's suppose somehow you have sent the wrong document. Okay. Now you want to cancel this document. Okay. What you will do is you will click here. There is void feature. Okay. Click on this. Now, all the recipients who have signed this document will be receiving an email that this document is not valid, and other recipients who are yet to sign, they won't be able to view or sign. Okay, you just have to mention the reason here. It will send the email basically. Okay, click on void. Your envelope was voided, right? If I go back here, voided documents for your signature. Dixit Khana voided documents, right? There is now no review button for you, right? This is another feature to cancel your documents. Okay. Hope this thing is clear to you, right? Another thing is, let me do that as well. I'll simply uncheck this checkbox now and I'll check this out. Click on save. Now you can see two signy template button is there. Okay, I'll click on this button. It will again pick up the same document. The latest one. Recipients. Now you can see there are two recipients. Signer 1, signer 2. Okay. First it will move to this email and then it will send the document to this email. Okay. I go back to here. Now you can see both the tags will come up automatically. Okay. Now this is for the signer 1. Okay. Let me switch to another user. Okay, got it. I have to generate the document. Okay, sorry for that. Because remember in that template I have two sections. Okay, so now it is picking up the all document which is having only one section. Okay, based upon this field, now it will generate the document which is having two. Okay, I'll quickly do that. Code record. Now I have three files with me. I click on this. Now it will pick up the latest one. Recipients we have. I'll move to prepare and send. Now if you move back, you can see. Now you can see two signee section and both have sign tags automatically populated. Okay. Now I'll click on send. Our document has been sent. Okay. Sent for signature. This is gonna send an envelope, right? Let me check my two emails. Okay. Now I have received this document. I haven't got any document yet here. Okay. Because I have defined the signing order. Let me sign here. Okay. Continue. Sign. Click on finish. Okay. Now as soon as I'll finish this, on my another email, I will be receiving a document because I have defined the, you will receive an email copy once everyone has signed, right? I go to this email, you can see. Now I have received the email, right? Now, if I go back to my court record, let me close this out, close this as well. Okay. Now, if I refresh this out, I have completed and another user will receive the envelope soon. This is the status current, right? Already I have received that. I'll go back to my email. This is my another user. I click on review document. Continue. This is my another user, right? Sign. Saved one. Okay. Click on finish. No thanks. Okay. Now, you will receive an email copy once everyone has signed. Now both the user has signed the document. I go back to the code and refresh this out. See, it will take time. Basically. It is taking time to basically, update. Now I can see I have received the email. Now you can see when both the parties have signed, status changed to signed, right? If you go back to DocuSign status thing as well, you can see 2 records are created. Okay. Now this is for the latest one I have, right? So in this way, you can use this DocuSign with the Salesforce. It can have a number of applications as well. I have just covered the basics so that you can configure it in your project. I have shown this thing via administrator point of view. Since I haven't worked practically on DocuSign in my any project, that's why I don't have any experience of handling this with the another users as well. But I can show you one thing. Okay, I have already bookmarked for you this one. Once you install DocuSign in your account, the Salesforce org, you can see we have n number of permissions. Okay, you can follow this link as well. Based upon your requirement, you can assign different permissions. CLM is basically different. You have to buy a separate license for CLM. Okay, in order to use CLM. CLM is basically kind of a thing. Like we used to create workflows in Salesforce. It is same as workflows in DocuSign. We can automate everything. We don't have to do manually. We can create workflows in CLM as well. Okay. So document generator, negotiator document. Okay. Like based upon the requirement, you can assign different permission sets to your users. Okay. So for the demo, if I have missed anything, just give me a second. Send with DocuSign standard button I have already explained. Install for users, template root, log. Yeah, one thing is left. Okay, that is this DocuSign logs object. Yeah, you cannot find anything here, right? Now, when this object will be useful for you? This object is handy when you are writing something back to Salesforce from the DocuSign. Let's suppose you are updating a code status once the signer has signed the document, and in between any validation rule gets triggered, okay, or some exception has occurred. So you can track those exceptions here. Okay, DocuSign entity ID means to say DocuSign envelope ID. So Salesforce source ID means to the Salesforce record ID. Okay, on which that error has come. Message, it will give you a detailed message of like whole exception. It will give you so that you can have get an idea like what is failing inside the Salesforce. Okay, so in this way you can use DocuSign logs as well. Permission sets, multiple signees we have covered. CPQ settings we have covered. Enforce IP restrictions we have covered. Yeah. So yeah, I'll stop sharing my screen, or like that's it from my side. Okay, actually what needs to be explained as part of this session. If you guys have any questions, you can come up with your questions. Anybody has any question?
So Dikshit, I have a question. Do you have any plan to cover Apex toolkit in DocuSign?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. That will be taken care with the use case. Okay. DocuSign Gen or DocuSign Toolkit, both the things will be covered up in future sessions.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. Please keep us updated.
Sure.
Hey, Dikshit, this is Shantanu. I have a question also regarding
Yeah.
this.
Go ahead.
So, Dikshit, actually, I wanted to know like how I can drive this whole setup for the community users. I mean, like, let's say one of my community users is trying to register in the community portal, and on while doing the form filling, one of the form like he needs to sign some document, and only then after the document is getting validated, then he will be established his credential to the particular portal. So the whole setup I need to do in an automated manner. I mean, like the community users is only able to see the registration page, but behind the scene, that particular user will be filling the form, and in the back end that form will be creating a DocuSign template. That template will be received by the users, and then the community users will be signing and then uploading. I mean, like the whole uploading, like the signing process is getting completed. So can I make this whole process like by driving through an Apex code, or maybe in
Yes.
an
Yes.
automated manner? How I can do that
Yes.
in that phase?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. The Sachin has asked about Apex Toolkit. Apex Toolkit is built for that only. Okay. Like the thing which I have explained you currently, it's all the things are inside the Salesforce, not
Yeah,
in, right?
yeah,
So
because
like,
these things are done by the administrator, right? So that's what I was
right.
just, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So what we can do is, right, let's suppose what we can create, like I haven't done that, but maybe an assumption I have taking like something, you can create a lightning component. Let's suppose you have you
Mm-hmm,
can easily place LWC or lightning buttons on community, right?
mm-hmm,
Okay. Now on that lightning button, you can call an Apex and you can leverage the facility of Apex toolkit. Okay. But the thing is, in order to make a community user feel like he's in Salesforce, like the user interface, add documents, add
mm-hmm,
resumes, everything. Okay.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That can be maybe a whole customization, but let's suppose I have a button. Once I click on that button, automatically my particular document gets signed, like, sent for the signature to anybody. You can configure all these things in the Apex code. Okay.
Okay,
Just you have to click on the button, and does not matter where that button is. Okay.
okay.
You can do that. But in order to make the UI, as
Mm-hmm.
you see that, you saw that add documents or something like that, right? So that can be a proper lightning component kind of thing that requires a lot of customization. Okay.
Okay, can you just show us like in those upcoming sessions that coding approach, like how we can establish just as
Exactly. I'll show. Sure.
okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Dikshit.
Yeah, Sonal.
I think we can continue with the quiz now because
Sure.
almost we have.
Dikshit, I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Vijay. Actually, we are just using DocuSign from month ago. We just install it in production, but we are facing one issue in prod that we are generating document, and when user is signing that document through DocuSign, the completed document is not getting saved back to Salesforce record. So
Yes.
what could be the reason?
Yeah, actually, I have shown you there is, if you have used template approach, there is a checkbox, as I have already shown you, right? Okay. That needs to be checked, right? Okay. And
Okay, so
yeah.
we can edit that template afterwards and we can make that enable, right?
Yes, exactly. Anytime you can edit that template, or if it is checked in your template, just make sure that I be I believe there is one more setting as well in the DocuSign account as well. Okay. But I'm not sure like whether that needs to be checked or not. But if you check the template setting,
Okay.
then automatically DocuSign will put your signed documents in the notes and attachment of that particular record.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get my answer?
Yes, yes. So I'll check that setting in
Oh,
template.
sure.
Got it. Thank you.
Sonali, you can start with the quiz now.
Yes. So first of all, thank you, Dikshit, for this session. And now we will proceed further with the quiz. Let me know once the screen is visible.
Yes, visible to me.
Yes, so hello everyone. In the screen you can see this link joinmyquiz.com. So what you have to do before you start the quiz, on your mobile device or laptop from which you have logged in, you can just put this link in the browser, and once you put this link, you will have to enter this code, and after that you enter the code, specify your name, and you can just start the quiz. The URL is joinmyquiz.com.
Yeah, can you paste that link in chat?
Okay, I'll paste it. The URL is joinmyquiz.com. I have already pasted in the chat box. 12 people have joined as of now. So what we will be doing, we will have two top winners, and to the top two winners, we will provide the certification vouchers after the event. And the quiz will be first come, fastest will be the winner. Fastest answer. I see 25 people have joined, 26.
So Sonali, how can I play the game? I mean, like play the quiz. I mean, I've joined that.
Yeah, so we will wait for more participants to join. Once I start the quiz, you will get the questions, and the questions will be like multiple choice questions. So you just have to select the right answer and end the quiz after you enter the answers. And
Okay.
once everyone has answered, we will end the quiz from our end.
Adding on to Sonali's comment, you just have to derive this, quiz via yourself. It's not like the Kahoot. Okay, we will be representing the question on the screen. You will get all the questions at once. Okay, you just have to answer each and every question and finish the game quickly. Okay.
Yes, and for each and every one, the question sequence will be changed. So there will be 5 questions, and the sequence will be changing for each one of them, but questions will be the same. So I see 31 people have joined. I'll just start in another few seconds. Okay, I think I can start now. So in your device, you might have questions. So you have to enter the right answer, and I recommend to read the question carefully because we also have multiple choice question in the quiz.
And all the questions are.
I see few of them have not answered. My screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Leaderboard is not getting updated. I don't know.
So for each question, you have a 20 seconds time, and I guess all have answered, so I am ending the quiz. So here we have the winners. First is Aman Kumar, followed by Sampada Suryavanshi, and third is Arif Khan. So I congratulate all the winners. The first two winners will receive a certification voucher on behalf of the groups. I request the winners, Aman Kumar and Sampada Suryavanshi, to just paste the email ID which is linked to WebSysR on the chat box so that we can provide you the voucher. Yes, Dikshit, we are done with the quiz.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Sonali.
Yeah.
The winners can share their email ID, okay?
Yes, Priyanka, you will get the recording of this session. We will be sharing you on the email. Aman and Sampada, can you paste? Yeah, I got Aman's email ID and Sampada as well. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We can wrap up the session, right, Sonali?
Yes. Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining the session. I hope you